Warhammer Shadow of the Horned Rat was a weird game to play on the PlayStation, mostly because of like control issues and some other things that I didn't quite like when I was trying to get through it. Now, if you're like me and you just jumped into this game having no experience or really understanding of the Warhammer world, you're probably going to be pretty lost. That's what I was when I first started playing this game. I got it way back in the late 90s, and I was just really excited to get a new game at that point, and was totally confused as to what was going on. I didn't understand what most of the things they were talking about were, and I was a little bit lost, but I eventually got into it, at least played it a lot more than what I did for this review. If you are like me, you don't know anything about it, there are a lot of YouTube channels that dig into the Warhammer lore that can help you understand this game. One that I looked at that was really great was an awesome channel by this guy. He goes by Jumbo Thick. And it was a great way to really understand what the hell was happening, and especially in this game, but also in Total War Warhammer, which I got into because of his channel. So let's go ahead and check out the game, and I'm just going to say this, it probably looked a lot better on PC back then, so if you get this version, it's most likely cheaper and easier to find, but I would try to find the PC version just because the controls will be better and it'll most likely look a lot better than this.
Engage!
So, as you can see, the graphics on this really aren't all that great. You can't really tell exactly what's going on in some of these battles, and it's a little bit hard to kind of realize what you're fighting and how many of what you're fighting there are. Personally, I think the game is kind of ugly, to be honest with you. It is sort of the early 90s, so you can kind of forgive that, and if you put it into perspective, it might look a little bit better. But for me, I just thought the game was a little bit ugly. Now, everything else after these battle scenes is gonna look pretty good. It's not gonna look great, but it's gonna look pretty good for the time period. It's just for some weird reason, and I'm thinking probably because this was a PC game and it most likely looked better on PC, they just couldn't quite translate everything to the PlayStation. Now, I do want to say, the controls in this game are just, they're awful. I absolutely hated them. It was just really, really painful. This is, I think, the second or third strategy game I've played that tried to change around the controls from the PC version and bring them into basically a home console, but it does not work out very well for me. Especially here, since they've got the analog sticks, you'd think that it could move around a little bit faster, but this game does not utilize them at all, so you have to try to move your cursor around with the D-pad, and it's just a really miserable experience. If you've ever tried to do that, oh my god, I hated it.
Engage!
Now, I'm not 100% sure why they didn't use the analog stick when they were doing this. It might have something to do with, it just wasn't out yet, or maybe the people porting this didn't have it, but it was just so weird to try to move things around with the analogs. You had to get it perfectly lined up. Now, it's got a box that you can get into in order to click on it right, but it just felt so incredibly awkward. Just trying to select which units you had and trying to get them to move around. I really hated it. Now, another thing is the battles for this, and it's the most important thing that you have to do, and oh my god, it was just so painful to do these battles. I am absolutely terrible at this game, I found out. Like, apparently I have no skill at this whatsoever. It just seemed like my guys were getting mowed down, like, really, really fast. Like, they just could not do anything. I don't know why or what was going on. Maybe it's because the units I was fighting against were better trained than mine, or something along those lines. But it just seemed like my guys were just getting crushed at every single turn. You can see here, like, after every battle, you have to basically buy more troops because the individual units in your army have to be replenished. You can also hire new units as well, which was really important for me since everybody kept frickin' dying on me. That was another thing that just really bothered me, the experience and, like, the defense levels for your units. I could not for the life of me figure out how to improve that in any way. Like, I tried through the training and everything else, I just could not figure out how to make this better at all, really. Now, I remember it being a lot more fun than this, to be honest with you, because I played this way back in the late 90s, and it just seemed like it was way more fun, and it seemed like I was a little better
Raiding
at it.
parties
So
destroyed the
probably
farm
like
to the
old age or
southwest
something like that,
and are
that's
heading back
really
to the
messing
bridge
with
with
me.
their spoils. We must
Now we get into the
intercept them before they
cutscenes,
can
and
cross
honestly,
the bridge and regroup
those
with
are
their
probably
main
my
force.
favorite part of
We will
this.
rendezvous 2
Now
miles
here we have
southwest with
the first one,
reinforcements
which is
from
just
Dortmere.
a static
When the
image of a
west bank
dude
is clear of
talking, and you
greenskins,
get
we
some
must
pretty
take
decent
and hold
voice
the
acting coming
bridge.
through this.
From there we
It's
can
not
consider an
great,
assault
but I
on
mean,
their
it's a
camp
video
in the
game, you
hills
can't
of the
really
east.
expect for spectacular voice acting at this point. And now we get the other cutscenes, which are still pretty good. You get a little bit of motion with them, and just kind of some talking over it. It's a really nice way of doing it. I wish it had been more full motion, but again, the time period that this was in, this was probably the best that you were gonna get. Now, even with all the faults from this game that I've had, it's pretty fun to play. It's not something I would probably go back and play over and over again, but it's kind of fun to just go back and mess around with it a little bit. Also, if you play this on a newer TV, it's super dark, like just ridiculously dark. I had to really up the brightness on this one, just so I could even see what the hell was going on. And as you can tell, that really wasn't even helping very much. It's pretty impossible to see what's happening. Now again, if you want to know more about Warhammer and everything, there are a lot of really great YouTube videos that you can watch on this. I'm going to mention this later, but it's just because I was super confused when I first started playing this, and it took me a while to kind of figure out what the hell was going on. But overall, it's not that bad of a game. It's got a lot of faults, but you can it overcomes some of those just with the story and a lot of the lore behind it.
So thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate any support that I get on this channel. If you like the videos or if you hate them, please let me know in the comments section below. I really do appreciate any feedback that I get. So starting next month, we're going to do a few horror games, just because it's October and why the heck not. We're going to start out with Haunted House on the Atari 2600, then we're going to do Monster Party on the NES. If you guys have any recommendations for games that you want to see me play, just leave them in the comments below as well. And have a great day, everyone.